streaming made me a better public speaker. You know, the sad part about that is I'm really embarrassed about being a streamer. You know, it's not like my day job is not something I'm trying to commit to 24/7, but I'm really good at it. That's the biggest issue. That's the biggest problem. You ever be really good at something that you're embarrassed to share with the world? Let's just say you're a singer or something. You have the most amazing voice. Everyone in the house knows yo, that girl can sing, bruh. But you will refuse to sing in public. I get it. Hell, back in 2020, during, let's just say, the middle of COVID, I had a real problem with my team when I was working in VMware. I was managing a team of about 20 people, but we were kind of spread out throughout the world. And the issue with, trying to keep everyone happy, especially during COVID, is we're all dealing with the same things, being trapped inside the house with really no fun way to express ourselves. So team gatherings had to be Zoom calls, which was, and probably still is, not the most fun experience. So I was just thinking, what if we could just get together and play some games? And Among Us was popping off back then. So if you don't know what Among Us is, it's the whole concept of whodunit. You have two imposters and the rest of us are crewmates, or the rest of us are not imposters. And we got to figure out who the imposters are. In terms of a team building exercise, you can easily figure out what people think of each other and how they interact with each other based off of that thinking with a game like Among Us. I thought it was hilarious. I played with my Atlanta people, I played with my Costa Rica people, but I do know it was extremely fun. And I wanted them to have that experience forever, so I thought, let me just upload it to YouTube. My gamer tag back then was King Kane, and I started to just upload all of those videos of us just having a good time. It started off with just a small hobby, but honestly, I was embarrassed about uploading it, but not that much, just because I was only sharing it with my team. But then as time moves on, things start to open up, the world starts to reset, and people start to go outside of their houses again. I now had this channel that was just kind of collecting dust, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. I had this thing on my spirit to tell me, start solo Saturdays, start solo Saturdays, start solo Saturdays. And solo Saturdays was just the idea that, instead of playing with other people, because I also had Video Game Dump, which was some games that I played with my friends, and I thought it'd be good for them to see those adventures too. So not just professionally, personally, I wanted to have a community of fun and engagement. Solo Saturday was just my way to kind of get back and share a little bit more about education, knowledge, marriage, any type of wisdom that could help you get through your day or help you get through your situation. I wanted to use my channel to do that on solo Saturdays. I just remember the first time I did solo Saturdays, I was playing Final Fantasy 14 online. I've been streaming it actually on Twitch recently. Not as consistent as I probably should if I'm a quote-unquote streamer, but enough that it's okay, you should tune in. I promise you, I'll do better. Just tune in. And I remember just saying, when I first started playing games, I was 6 years old, and my mom brought me a Game Boy, and it was Pokemon Blue. It wasn't even in color. And I just remember playing it, and I was just like, bro, this is so much fun. All right, so why games are so engaging for me is just the visual effects and then the dopamine of just being able to complete something and seeing the results immediately. All right, now I'm just speaking from my perspective. There are a billion reasons that people love games, but for me, it's just a way that I can control my environment and use my brain to achieve an objective. So in terms of games, I love them all, but I got this channel and I started uploading games, but before and in between, I had to go through this decade and a half period of gaining education, building up my skills, and then obviously working professionally. I've done a lot. Eventually I started my own business called Pitch Play Co, and the whole concept is business is a game and we teach people how to play. Where that's super fun and exciting and does require quite a bit of my time and dedication, I still had this channel that I'm like, hey, Solo Saturdays has to grow into something bigger, and it turned into Gems and Gaming. So with that being said, I just continued to do gyms and gaming. Now, when I first started to do gyms and gaming, I was super timid, very timid. I was afraid to talk in the microphone. I was too afraid to be myself. So I had to go back to my roots, back to that education piece. I got a degree in theoretical mathematics. I simply focus on concepts that I believe can be proven using the history of my life and experiences that I had to make sure that it connected with you, the audience, and still connected to what I see as truth, which is something that can be proven. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to give up plenty of times. I am so self-conscious about being known as a gamer or even a streamer. I do a lot of different things within the tech world. I'm an entrepreneur. I know a lot of powerful people. I know a lot of good business people. Obviously, I'm still growing in my career. I pray that I learn more and know more people in the future. But as of right now, I am building up my reputation within the business world, which doesn't necessarily intersect with the streaming world, but that's okay because I'm now entering a new Venn diagram, which is being a public speaker or a professional speaker. I've done quite a bit of speaking engagements so far. In fact, the first speaking engagement that I've done outside of being in a corporation and being under my own umbrella was a university in Paris, actually. Yes, I had to go out of the country to find an opportunity for me, but really it was all through networking and connections. I've spoken to this university 3 times. I'll be speaking at this university even more in the upcoming years. I've done some stuff in the States too. I've been able to talk to Make-A-Wish Foundation, which was by far one of my favorite things that I've done. I've been able to talk to several high schools, several middle schools. I haven't done many colleges here in the States as of yet, not as a public speaker, maybe like some workshops, but public speaking is just different. You have to captivate an audience for 40 minutes to an hour. You have to make sure that they're leaving with actionable items. And the first time I spoke, I could tell I was too afraid to be myself. I was very timid. I was sweating like crazy. When I get nervous, I sweat heavy, which honestly you'll probably see a lot, especially doing speaking engagements. It be hot too, so sometimes you gotta wear a suit jacket or you gotta wear your cardigan. You gotta have some level of professionalism, and you burning up there trying to make sure that you're entertaining a crowd of people for every second of your speaking engagement. Not the easiest thing to do, but I learned that through streaming. Think about it. When you stream, you turn on the camera, you have the camera right in front of you, and let's say you've never done it before. You never had to entertain the world, which is basically what the internet is when you're putting your stuff out there. You never had to make sure that every single second that someone was listening to you, that they were being entertained or they were being educated, they were being uplifted, they were being motivated, they were being inspired. When you put that amount of pressure on by clicking yes or the turn on button whenever you're about to stream, then you start to realize like, oh, I probably haven't been that interesting or as interesting as I thought, or as articulate as I thought. Entertainment is great. I love it. If you're entertained by listening to me or watching me, I am happy about it. My biggest thing is to make sure that I'm motivating and inspiring. I want to make sure that when people hear me, listen to my words, listen to my voice, that they go, you know what? Tyreek was right. Or I guess as the internet would know me as King Kane. King Kane was right. Like, I really should try to get to the next level or be the master of my craft, regardless of what anyone thinks. If he can do it, I can do it. If you take that away, then I feel very satisfied. But I say all that to say, once I just got over myself, sat down at a computer, turned on the camera, asked my team to join a call, record it, put out this low quality video on YouTube. Once I got over myself and did all of those things, that one little idea, that seed turned into a much bigger, massive thing that I am still awkward about, still embarrassed about. I don't like when people see it. But if it helps people, I will continue to do it. Make sure you are investing in that thing that you're afraid to do, but you love doing, because you never know what it'll turn into. If streaming made me a better public speaker, what would your hobby make you do better? You just never know. trust yourself, and whatever you do, believe in yourself. The more you invest in yourself, you'll realize that it was way worth it, because when you invest in other people and other tasks that you don't like and other activities that you're not happy with, you invest in all those things, and then those things either get really big or they disintegrate and they're just gone. You invested in something and you made something that you don't even like way better, or you invested in something that you don't even like and it got you nowhere. Imagine investing in yourself. Think about it. Yo, y'all take it easy and God bless.